Good morning. How's all? It's Robert. Happy Friday, I think. Already. Morning, John. Hi, Rabbits. Hey, RM. Good morning. The sound should be up in both the room and on the YouTube. So pick one. And let's go. One, two, three. SPY gapping up right into yesterday's high. And a little itty bitty day it was. Never quite filled the gap from Wednesday. Can see pretty tight little range. Hourly chart though, that's the gray here. Holding that 20 MA pretty well. So still can't bet against higher. In fact, buy lows. That was the secret yesterday. And even the Qs didn't hold the 20 MA, but did hold the lows. And gapping up a little, but pretty insignificant, about a quarter. Is doing a nice pre-market base at the high though. So Q's could launch back up into the supply area. I'm looking pretty bullish still. I mean, I've been bullish. We've got the ugly daily buy-in the Qs. I mean, it's ugly because of that red bar that went higher and lower. I guess Tuesday, or that was Monday. But made the pivot, held the daily 20 MA. SPY cleaner. Let's see, Wristman's got APDN. I'll put on the up list and MDGS. It's amazing this is still around. Gapping up also. All right, I want to go through the list. There's about a dozen earnings, but so far, well, other than Netflix, which is getting rocked a little, there hasn't been much to jump on. Like Alley gapping up, but not enough. What was 2450 post market last night, but this thing spreads around for a $20 stock. APDN is not earnings, and there's a few of these that are just Little jumpers. Applied DNA Sciences. Let's do that. I'm going to leave that off the list, but if this can stabilize an uptrend nicely, right now it's in a base at the low, well, near the low. Um, BlackRock, very tough to play usually, but nice gap up to new highs, not too up there. Trying to take out the February high. I like BlackRock. And then CFG to 2640. CFG's earnings, so is BlackRock. So was Ally, actually. 2640. Yeah, barely interesting. Oh, over yesterday's topic tail, that's the most interesting thing on this one. It did report, I'll put it on the list, as these other banks, FHN to 965. Supply at 10 on this guy, though. It's going to be a hard one. And then more supply at 1060. Really would have to wedge an entry. I'm going to put it there, though. And then FNB, yet another regional bank. This one might be the best. It's a little big. 20-cent spread. But of those little banks. All right, leaving those alone. JBHT is earnings gapping up $6-7. Was as high as almost 140 in the pre-market. This looks like it could fade. It's 3 bars up. Good volume yesterday. Not the biggest bar yesterday, but now the sell the news could come into play here. It's got about $4 of room back to minor support at 133. So if can get a good entry, I could see JBHT as a fade. This MDGS, not quite clearing this 218. Like it better if it did that. NVAX. NVAX is a little like JBHT. 4 days up and a pretty big bar. Only difference is we didn't get a lot of volume yesterday. And this kind of day would have been better. But this could fade too. Got about $6 available. And NVAX is just news. I don't think it's earnings. And PPG gapping a clean $5 into 120s. Supply here though. tough one. Either way, not sure there's enough room to fade that. And it's the least fadeable. I mean, I like NVEX and JBHT better for fades. That's a strong breakout. Uh, Similar with space. This could really go. This is not at all a fade. This is a nice, clean new breakout. I think Ringit was playing it yesterday. And I like it at 28. Could easily get into that today on a buy setup. And then VCNX to 9 something. This is another one of these vaccine or pharma jumpers. This one, I don't know what to do with that. This is either way. I'm just going to leave that on my list. There's 4 or 5 more of these that I didn't list. All right, ALV is earnings and triggering a daily sell. Notice under yesterday's green bar, which capped a 4 or 5 day rally, but the problem is it's right on top of a bunch of demand. So I like it lower, but this this is gonna bounce around a lot. Well, it could bounce around a lot. I'll put it on the list, but that's really the last thing I'm looking at. And KSU is giving back about half of the green bar. This is earnings, and this is probably still higher. I mean, this would need to get under 155 to be a good short. It's also relatively thin trading. NCLH, along with the other cruise lines, all gapping down a little. Not enough to be actionable, though. And Netflix, the big earnings surprise here, right on the prior low. So this is either way. It could fade. It's right on the 20 MA. I kind of like it to fade, but only with a strong market. And if it develops additional weakness, it could fall apart to 475 or so. It's a difficult fade. I like them better when they're down here, like it major support. Then it's an easy fade. Just take it. But this is right into the buy setup. I guess failed last night in the post market, but you'd never know unless you look. This was down to 450 last night. So if it can downtrend intraday, it could be 450 again. It's already faded from major support. Plus, remember, it's got a little cult stock status to it, which makes it even harder to fall. Neo getting the daily pullback. I think this sees $10, and then it's the buy setup. It's not. I don't know what it is. It's not on the earnings list, but I like Neo lower today anyway. And RF is a yet another regional bank, And this one is triggering the daily sell on the gap and looks pretty good lower. Now it's already been down to 1015 pre-market. And the prior low 984. So that's what I'd be looking for if did a short here. I like the RF lower. All right, so RF, maybe Neo needs an entry though. Netflix is either way. Space is along with a good entry. PPG, want to watch it trade 15, 20 minutes. NVAX possible fade. JBHT possible fade. There we go, that's what I like. Oh, and BlackRock, but I probably won't do it. $2 spread. But I like BlackRock higher. Anything else? I am ready. Make the gray chart a 1 minute. All right, I'm gonna put the mic off just a couple of minutes. I'm here though. I'm back. Netflix looks like it wants to rally. Just got a breakout near the high a day. $500 is the pre-market high, but it might be volatile. All right, we're open. Netflix long if you want it. And GBHT, big stop. It's about $1 plus 30 cents on the spread. Did try to run higher. So decent fade there right now if you want it. I'm letting it go, but oh, Eric. I must have missed Eric. That was on the earnings list. Yeah, Rob has got it higher. Somehow skipped that. Looks good. FHN jumping too. I like this one lower right now, kind of 50 by. It's a pretty big stop, but under 50 RF. It's right here. First target would be 1015, low of the pre-market, and then 980. It can drop. It may push back a little. It's already dropped, 4 1-minute bars, but that's why I'm giving it the extra room on the stop to yesterday's high. As soon as it pivots, can get the stop down to today's high or the pivot. Well, that looks right back to the pre-market high and now back to either way. ALV is a decent short. Could do that 87 by 48. I like the RF play better, but it's the same play. Just John's got the Eric. Yeah, Eric on a nice little breakout right now. RF got bought. Don't like that. Thought it might rally a little, but that's a big bar. Netflix a little weaker. ALV worked almost immediately. I'm not sure it was gettable, but pretty good. JBHT not fading, at least not yet. Holding very strong. All right, RF stopped down to high a day and could add if want. Doesn't need the extra the 11 anymore. It could be 1070. John's got the Eric stop to break even as it crawls up. Here's the BlackRock entry. $1.50 spread, but holds the VWAP, holds the low a day, now the green bar. Beautiful gap. CFG, so these other banks fading. Oh, CBHT got the breakout. All right, this isn't gonna fade. Good higher. LV looking good lower. So does Netflix now. Neo, pretty good sell setup. And Well, RF has got the same entry again, under 50, but by high a day this time. Problem is it's right now holding above the VWAP. I took it when it dropped below, but could do an addition to RF under 50. Right now it doesn't look like it's gonna drop though, but that can change. Netflix still available. It's gonna do a sell setup. My issue with Netflix is that rising 20 right there on the daily. Well, BlackRock working. Good short end backs here. I'm not sure it's got enough room, for good risk reward, but you got a good entry. 30, 40 cents spread though, but stop at 131. Roku, didn't have that on the list. Yeah, it's got some weakness. If a 20 MA RF would be good. It's at the 20 MA now. It's at the daily 20 MA. Problem is the hourly 20 MA is holding it up. All right, if it pops again, I gotta get out. Give it to 75 or so. Really wanted to add on the new breakdown, but it's the daily chart on that I liked. The gap into the sell setup. And Neo falling slowly. And Netflix is a tough call. ALV, very nice if did. Now the two plays I liked but didn't want to do, ALV and BlackRock, both working very nicely. Now there's space. Didn't see the buy setup, but SBCE looks good higher. Needs an entry. CFG on support. I mean, it looks decent. Kappa fall to support. Now, not back over VWAP yet though. And now SPY trying to bounce right in, well, right on intraday support. Well, Netflix VWAP protected here. Last three approach turned back. So Netflix low a day by 496 is not bad, or could already be in. Yeah, I just saw the Qs take a big drop. Major, JVHT on the low a day at the VWAP. No real support here though. Yeah, IWM going high a day, Q's low a day, and SPY sitting on support. So it just can't get any messier. Yeah, IWM crawling over that 200 MA. Well, Neo works as a short, and the thing I do isn't working though. Well, if RF pops up, gotta get out of it. Yeah, but if there was one to me, this was it, Evan. Right? Perfect daily self setup and gaps into it. That Netflix gonna fall. I think. Looks like it's gonna fall. SPY still sitting on support, but weakening. All right, let's see if it goes. Well, I don't want to add under 50 anymore because that's where the VWAP is now. Oh, wait, under 50, yes, but you'd have to do 59 on this century. 62. Yeah, it looks fine. I'm not crazy about it in front of the VWAP though. Still like that daily though. Remember the original stop was up over at 11. And could have just as easily done Neo here under 86 way back. Okay, starting to get a little green. Cues back to the 15-minute pivot from yesterday. I don't know, tough call here. IWM leading higher though. BA. Yeah, looks higher. Hourly buy deep in support. All right, still willing to add on RF, but I want it to go through the VWAP and through that 50. Right now it looks like it wants to rally, so that'll have to fail, which I'm 50-50 on. Yeah, Netflix just won't drop. That's the problem with Netflix. HR loan? Couldn't be that. Must be RH. Okay, yeah, RH. RM's got a call on RH long. I'm gonna go to 2-minute chart. Okay, RF looking better. Now, if it can just pop down through the VWAP and set up again, I'll add. High-a-day's the stop still. Looks as, I think it looks as good as it did when I took it, if it gets through the VWAP. Eric holding up strong. Neo likely to set up a sell setup, but keep in mind that daily is more bullish than bearish on this, even though it gapped under green. Wish there was more risk reward in Netflix and I could justify just taking some and holding on to it, but the support is 475 or so. There's the sell setup on Neo. Would wait for 61, could stop 75. See if that VWAP can hold it. Like I say, only problem is daily's still pretty bullish. Space higher, TIG higher. Oh, it's a brand new one. Yeah, it looks higher. Spready though. You doing it, Evan? JBHT's a long. Looks like Space did about 20 minutes ago. Oh, you didn't like the 15, right? Okay, SPY got a little push up. Now if it can continue over 321.50 something, we may test the high a day. But Q is just kind of doing more of a dead bounce than a. Oh, we didn't break anything though. You know, it looks like a big drop, but it's really not. CFG over the VWAP could be. Eric is still along. It's such a big gap from 960 to 1060. It's a 10% gap, but super bullish. I may have deleted it, Evan, accidentally, or if you scroll back in the text, I think you'll see it. He said something about OCX. I can't remember what it was. I deleted most of the pins, but not the ones that I thought might have been swing. Yeah, I'm trying, Evan. Like I said, if it says swing on it, I'm keeping it, and All right, RF is, good for more if one. It just crossed back through the VWAP. So if we get another entry, I'm going to add again to RF. Well, I didn't add the first time because of what it did, but I still like it down to $10. 10.15 is what I like it to. Baba. Yeah, Baba's a long, pretty good one. Okay, here's the little cell setup in the SPY. Let's see what happens. It's messy though, really messy here. Better cell setup in the Qs. Meanwhile, IWM's doing the buy setup. Nice one too. So buy the IWM, sell the Qs. Something will work maybe. Still like RF. Not too late to get in. And there's Neo now. Neo would be 61 by 87. Not bad. Sean likes Netflix. Yeah, Netflix on the sell setup too. Holding the VWAP again. And Eric is along. Has been all morning. Neo triggered if doing it. Netflix triggered if doing it. ALV looks decent lower too. It worked the last time. Space, another pullback to the VWAP. Hey TJ, how you been? VRNA? Yeah, VRNA looks good. It's one of those pharmas that popped up today, but yeah, over 83. All right, I'm just gonna sit here with RF. Neo's the next best short, I think, and then Netflix the one after that. Longs are NVAX, JBHT, and Eric. All right, SPY through the low a day, so we're weak, except for the IWM. Hughes did the sell setup. Looks like wants to test low a day, and SPY just broke through it. Now, the problem is if you go up a time frame, you can see there's plenty of demand. That's why I'm not jumping all over shorts here. ALV turning it around. Of course, it did make the double bottom earlier. And it is right on the rising 20 MA daily. That's why I didn't want to do it the first time. It's what's also held me off Netflix. 1015 is the pre-market low, right? On on RF. That's what I'm going for. Yeah, 1015 pre-market low. 1025 probably close enough. Your play would be working really nice. I'd get target a little bit now if it were your play, but I took it early on the 1 minute. Yeah, I took it right there on the breakdown. Had to suffer. Yeah, I know. Should have had it there. I know. Here's the VRNA triggering. That looks pretty good. TJ just threw it out, but it's a good looking long. All right, I'm in be careful mode. Kind of have been all week. And IO have taken the verbal idea, 1041 is target one. And then I'd hold for 1075 to 1141 and then 1075 be target two. And then it's probably a buy. If we get a green bar Monday, it's a pretty nice looking buy. All right, I'm gonna take the early break. I'm not really looking for anything. I still like the same stuff. I mean, I like Netflix may be lower, but it has issues. RF hopefully gonna get a little lower and get a little target. Neo too late, but mentioned it back here when it was a trade. Netflix under. Yeah, it looks good. It does. It's the daily chart, John. That's my issue. Is it, it's a pseudo cold stock gapping to the pivot at the rising 20. It's certainly got weakness, no argument. Yeah, RF, man, that was a nice drop into 34. I'm gonna give it one more drop though. Hopefully it comes back and holds under the VWAP for a pivot. I'm playing the daily chart. I mean, that's really what I'm playing. Intraday, it's at a target. If you took Evans' play, 61 by 71, you got a nice play. All right, I'll be back. Thanks all. It's Rob. I did something to my screen though. Hmm. I don't know what I did. I did this once before. I have a weird screen with a penguin on it. That's Ralph, I guess. Oh, I can see all of you, but I can't see the text. Where? I don't know how to get it back. Oh, I did it. Okay. Never mind. Grace is over. Hey, Sean. So I trailed out on RF for, nothing. I got in early and, suffered the rally and then just let it play because I was looking for bigger targets. It worked as a nice play if, did the one Evan mentioned. And other stuff has been tricky. Well, everything's been tricky. Eric hasn't gone anywhere, just sitting there at an earlier entry. And RF moved as well as anything if you played it right. And Neo worked. I mentioned the Neo back here on the, I can't remember where, but I think the 5 minute sell, 70 by 80, that worked great. Yeah, right into the target area. So if you did Neo, it worked. I didn't. I didn't want two shorts. Netflix, as predicted, it's tricky. I mean, scalps are working. In fact, here comes another one if it plants right here at the VWAP. But the big play is elusive with that one, at least so far. Space looks great higher. And NVAX has moved up if did it this morning. JBHT nowhere. I don't know. It's a tricky little morning. SPY bouncing right now, but again coming into a sell setup area. And same thing with the Qs. Qs are actually downtrending though. Meanwhile, IWM uptrending and on a 15-minute buy at the moment. PFE, PFE, I don't have that. Oh yeah, PFE going higher, isn't it? All right, I'm as disinterested as I ever get here. There's just nothing on my watch was doing it. I'm gonna take one quick look, but I don't think I'm gonna hang out very long here. It's Friday, but I think I'll check back in the afternoon. But it's INTC. Yeah, INTC strong. Had a pretty good buy setup a little while ago. Hard one, but pull back right into the VWAP, rising 20 on the 5. Now trying to continue on the 15. Problem with Intel is the Qs are weak. Yeah, and FSLR doing what I call the extended buy setup, the daily pullback, but far away from the 20. Hourly's good though. RF may be going to set up again, but it held the low, concerning. I thought it had a little more in it to drop. Well, still do. I mean, the daily chart says it does. So does the weekly. I mean, the other nice chart on this is the weekly. You can see the sell, or the monthly, I should say. Yeah. See that monthly? Very, very telling. But monthly doesn't help today. NIU. Yeah, nice buy setup right there. Yeah, that's a good swing. Also has good strength today. Yeah, that's a good one. All right, I'm here, but I don't really want to do anything. So I'm gonna walk off again. I think I'm gonna go run some errands, and Netflix is set up again. Netflix 490 by 493.50. That is actually, I've been staying away from it because of that daily 20. But that's a nice 5 minute at the declining 20 at the VWAP. If it gets a new low, it'll pay. 350 on a stop. One and a half to low a day, but then I say 475 would be the bigger target on Netflix. So if that sets up, might want to try it. Under 490 would be the entry. Flat up 5 minute sell setup. Not too late to try that. Biggest problem, the daily chart. All right. Any questions on the morning? Yeah, thanks, Sean. You too. Thanks, RM. You do the same. I hope we get some stuff next week. It'll be, big earnings. All right. I'll check in later. Thanks all.